Covering the spirit, I'm busting through the ceiling. I'm following your lead, I'm following this feeling. I'm conquering the spirit, I'm busting through the ceiling. I'm following your lead, I'm following this feeling. I'm conquering the spirit, I'm busting through the ceiling. I'm following your lead, I'm following this feeling. Conquering the spirit, I'm busting through the ceiling. Busting through the ceiling, busting through the
Welcome to the Freight Flak Pack. It's Termex here, and welcome back to another Borderlands 3 video. Today, I'm bringing you my ultimate Jakobs Gunslinger Flak build, a complete whole build based around Flak and the Jakobs manufacturer. Basically anything that has to do with Jakobs, and it's going to be like the ultimate PC save file as well for you PC players. But if you're on console, you're going to be getting a good representation of the type of Jakobs build you can make with Flak, and it works with basically all of these guns you see here. Before I show you guys all of this gear and all of the skill trees, if you could take a second out of your day to leave a like on the video, it really means a lot. And subscribe if you enjoy my content here and want to support what I do. And let's get right into it. Starting off with this skill tree, I like to put 4 out of 5 in Interplanetary Stalker for the damages per stack. 3 out of 3 in Leave No Trace, because even though we're using a lot of Jakobs weapons, not every Jakob weapon has this effect to where they add ammo back into the magazine. 3 out of 3 in the head count, so we can get our action skill back quicker, and since most Jakobs guns work very well with crit damage, it's a perfect mix for Flak. For Hunter's Eye, I just have 2 points into this perk because of my class mod. Don't put any points into it yourself. 2 Fang, we put 5 out of 5 into 2 Fang because a lot of the snipers in this build only shoot 1 bullet, and 2 bullets are going to make a big difference. 3 out of 3 in a big game, so we can have double the duration on all of our hunter skill effects, and 30% more strength with all of those perks. 3 out of 3 into the most dangerous game, but with my class mod, it is 6 out of 3. Now, this is a big part of the Jakobs build because you're getting 50% gun damage and 20% crit after you kill a badass, and it's gonna last at least 4 minutes because we have big game going, and that is such a great perk to have at all times. 1 out of 1 into Galactic Shadow for the 15% crit. It's gonna help out every single gun with this build. 3 out of 5 into Grim Harvest for the extra gun damage. And finally, 1 out of 1 into Megavore, so we can get the crit chance no matter what happens, no matter where we shoot. Over into the Stalker tree, we're going to put 5 out of 5 in a Furious Attack, so when we're spamming enemies with our Maggie, our Love Drill, those kind of guns, we're going to be getting bonus gun damage stacks. 3 out of 3 into all my BFS for the health regeneration. 3 out of 5 into self-repairing for the maximum health and more health regeneration. 1 out of 1 into Lick the Wounds because the world depends on you getting this perk. Alright, if you don't get this perk, you're not a Flak player. You're not a true Flak main. 3 out of 3 into Turntail and Run for the gun damage, fire rate, and the reduction and health regeneration while on the move. 3 out of 3 into Fast and the Furious for the gun damage of movement speed. 5 out of 5 into Hidden Machine. It's a little bugged, but sometimes it works, and you're going to be getting 30% extra damage since we are using Fadeaway. 2 out of 5 in Rage and Recover for the extra health regeneration after a kill. Very good synergy with all my BFFs. And finally, 1 out of 1 into the Power Inside. So when we activate our action skill, we get 25% bonus gun damage. Or, if we have full health, we'll get 50%. And your last 3 points will be going into the Master Tree. 3 out of 3 into Persistence Hunter for the extra gun damage and action skill duration. So you can really choose those shots that you want to take during Fadeaway. As for the abilities you want to use, pop on Fadeaway along with Until You Are Dead for the health regeneration and movement speed. And Unblinking Eye for the extra crit damage per hit. As for your pet, you can honestly go with the Gunslinger Jabber with this build, which is what I would recommend. But a lot of people like to run the Spider Ant Scorcher for the extra health regeneration and elemental damage. But me personally, I prefer to go with the Jabber because I prefer the critical hit damage. You can even go with the Beefcake Jabber if you're finding yourself not living or your survivability is what's really lacking. But me personally, I went the Gunslinger Jabber for the crit and movement speed. For the purpose of this build, I'm going to show it off with my Guardian rank disabled so you guys know the true potential of this build without any Guardian rank. So even if you have a bunch of Guardian rank, this build's going to be even more broken than it already is. And finally, onto the gear. Now, for the gear, I have a bunch of Jakobs guns that I personally farmed, a bunch of guns that my subscribers farmed and gave to me. Big shout out to everyone in the Discord that helped me get this whole setup together. You guys are awesome. This is not all just me. I just want to make that known. We have a great community in the Flakback Discord if you guys want to check that out. Link will be in the description, but big shout outs to them. To start off with our main 4 guns we're going to be using, we have a Dastardly Skull Masher that has Action Skill and Anointment for weapon damage. Very, very powerful. We have a Stagecoach that has Action Skill and Anointment for 100% more damage. Next, we have a Little Yeety for the same exact anointment with the weapon damage. No element on this gun because I believe it cannot come in an element. Correct me if I'm wrong though. And we're going to have a Clairvoyance because this is a very good gun. We haven't managed to get 100% action skill damage anointment on this weapon yet, but the consecutive hits is actually pretty useful when you're killing big bosses like Grave Ward or badasses in the fight. For our other guns, we have a Love Drill with ASE 100% damage. We have a Maggie with ASE 125 on badass named and boss enemies. We have another Maggie with ASE 100% weapon damage. We have a 7 Cents. This gun cannot be anointed, so this is the best we got. This is actually the same 7 Cents I used in my build. If you guys want to check that out, annotation in the top right about now. Very good build on Flak. Very underrated. The Companion with a ASE 125 against badass named and bosses. Underrated gun as well. Works very well with a Jakobs build. The Unforgiven, because no build is complete without an Unforgiven. I do not have a level 57 unfortunately, but I have the maximum amount of crit damage an Unforgiven can have, and that does not scale when you get a level 57. We have a Dastardly Scatter Gun. This gun is actually kind of underrated as well. It's kind of like a Stagecoach, but a little bit different, a little bit tighter of a spread. And it has a fire rate anointment, which isn't a big deal to be honest with you. We have the TK's Tidal Wave along with the Rack Attack anointments. It's just Jakobs. I threw it in there. It's a pretty solid gun. We have the Unseen Threat with ASE 100% weapon damage. Awesome sniper. I might make a completely different build with this sniper in the future. If you guys want to see that, let me know. As for your shields, we do have the Supergiant version 0.M. Just because it's an amp shield plus the damage. We have the Recharger for tankiness with the ASE Incendiary Anoints. We have 2 Transformers. One's a level 53 with a Cryo Anoint, and one's a level 57 with the Incendiary Anoint. We have a Rerouter that just has an Incendiary Anoint, but it can be helpful with some of the snipers in the build, so I popped it in there. And for all the grenades, we have Epicenters, Hexes, Hunter Seekers, Bouncing Pairs, all with different action skill and anoints, and they're all level 57, except for this Hunter Seeker, because, you know, I don't know why it's in here, but it'll be in here. For our class mods, you're going to have 2 extra class mods. You're going to have a Cosmic Soccer with Jakobs and Jakobs crits, a Stack Bot with pistol damage and Jakobs crit. As for your relics, you're going to have a Victory Rush with shotgun damage and magazine size if you're going to use a Stagecoach or the Scatter Gun. And we have the Pearl of Inevitable Knowledge, which is going to be helpful for basically any build, to be honest with you. And now for our actually equipped gear, you're going to have a Stopgap with Cryo on action skill and anoints. Very good survivability shield for Flak because he needs it nowadays with all the extra damage in the game. Flak needs the survivability. For your grenade, a Hunter Seeker that's corrosive with a shock, action skill, and anoint, so you can take out the takedown a lot easier. For the relic you're going to be having on, you're going to have pistol damage and magazine size, along with restore 20% of your max health after killing an enemy. Again, Flak needs the survivability, especially for the takedown. This build is more than 100% capable of beating true takedown solo. Way more capable than anyone thinks. It's an amazing build, regardless of what Jakobs gun you're using. As for the class mod, the core bread and butter of how this is basically a god roll, perfect roll for this whole setup, to be honest with you. It's kind of ridiculous. We have weapon crit, Jakobs crit, and shotgun damage, all on a bounty hunter mod, which is kind of crazy. It's the first god roll class mod I've ever really gotten in a while, and it's amazing that it's level 57. But yeah, that's what you're going to have equipped on your gear, and then all of this. Now, if you're a console player, I just recommend getting these 4 guns right here and mixing it with the same gear we have here, and it's going to work out basically the same. But this is the ultimate Jakobs Flak, and I'm going to be giving you guys the ultimate gear that is Jakobs. Since I showed you guys all that, let's do our little run into the DLC area. If you don't want to see any spoilers for the DLC, I completely understand. Try out the build yourself, get the gear you need. Thank you so much for watching this video. Subscribe before you head out. But for the people that want to see this in action, stick around for about 3-4 more minutes because I'm going to show you guys how it actually performs. Now for the Tidal Wave is a little weird. Sometimes it does a bunch of damage, sometimes it doesn't because you're missing like half the bullets because of all the enemies. And the projectiles are weird sometimes, but it's a fun shotgun to use. If you get the right one and all your projectiles hit, the damage isn't too bad. Man, we're getting legendaries like it's nothing right now. But yeah, my favorite gun in this whole thing, I love the Skull Masher. The Skull Masher, I made a build around this gun, and it wasn't anointed, and it was still awesome. But you can see this gun just, it's ridiculous. It melts, it's crazy, it's insane. And probably my favorite sniper in the game right now. I understand why the Unseen Threat is getting a lot of love right now, but me personally, I'm going Team Skull Masher because on Flak, it's just an insane crit monster to be using. Too weak to survive. Yes, Flak, you are right. And I'm too weak to hit my shots. Jesus, dude. But yeah, guys, that's basically the whole premise of this build. Jakobs Flak, Gunslinger Flak, Wild West Flak. It could have 200 different names, but at the end of the day, it's the best Flak setup that has to do with using Jakobs weapons, and that's why I love it so much, and this is what you guys wanted to see. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you enjoy the PC save file. There will be a link in the description. Make sure you guys leave a like on the video, and subscribe if you're new here and support what I do. And join that Flak Pack Discord, link will be in the description below. Also, my first Twitch stream for Borderlands 3 is going to be this Saturday. If you guys want to check me out on Twitch, it's the same as my YouTube name. It's TermX. And you guys could come say hi to my first stream. I don't know how the first stream's going to go, but hopefully there's no issues. But there's probably going to be issues because, you know, that's how things operate. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys have a terrific day. A times 20 anarchy. Wow, this is just luck up the wazoo. But anyway, hope you guys have a terrific day. And I'll see you guys later.